Magic Trix 101. Happy 4th of July, and today I'm going to be bringing you another card trick tutorial. Now, I've done one of these before, and the link to that will be down in the description. It was actually the first video for the channel, and it has already surpassed 90 views, so thank you guys so much for that. And I know that it doesn't seem like much, but it is huge when you are first starting out, so thank you. There's also a preview that's going to be linked in the description below, and that was a preview for this trick and the next trick to come, which will be released this coming Saturday after. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the trick. Now, again, I don't have a spectator, so I'm going to just deal it to you guys, and we'll just pretend that I would have a spectator. So the magician would start by having the spectator, by spreading out all the cards and having the spectator just point to any one of these cards, and for the sake of the tutorial, man, I can't speak today, let's just say they picked this one. Alright, and then I would then take a guess as to what it is, and I'm going to guess it's the 5 of hearts. Alright, the 5 of hearts. I'm just taking a look at it to make sure that I got my guess correct, and because otherwise the whole trick would be messed up, but I will show you guys at the end. Alright, so the first guess was the 5 of hearts, keep that in mind. The 5 of hearts. Hang on. That's a much better shuffle. Alright, then the magician would spread out the cards again, and have them point to another card. And let's say they picked this one. And I'm going to guess that it is the 8 of spades. Alright, the 8 of spades. Alright, cool. And again, I will show you guys them all at the end. And, okay, so for after the spectator picks 2 of them, the magician would then pick one. And for me, let's just keep it simple, guys, and I'm going to pick the bottom one. Alright, and I'm going to say it is the ace of spades. The ace of spades. Alright, now, my first guess was the 5 of hearts. And my second guess was the 8 of spades. My third guess was the ace of spades. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that card trick, and I am going to be showing you the tutorial momentarily. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that magic card trick, and so this is actually more of a beginner level trick again, and I think this one might even be easier than the previous one that I did. But there is no setup involved, it is completely impromptu, and I would, actually it's a little bit of setup, but not that bad. So, what the magician would start by doing is they would glance at the bottom card. Alright, just glance at the bottom card, and then when they spread out the cards and have the spectator pick one, let's say they picked this one, you are going to say the name of the bottom card, not the card that they picked, and say it before you look at it. That way they don't think you're cheating. So, what was it again? It was the ace of hearts, right? So, I would say this is the ace of hearts, and then look at it. And this is actually the 4 of spades, but you're saying it's the ace of hearts, and then setting it back down. And then you got to keep that card in your head for the next part of the trick. So then, to keep them convinced, just do a couple of false shuffles, but make sure that you keep this card on the bottom. You don't have to do false shuffles, but I find that they are way more convinced if you do these. So, and then spread them back out again. Have them pick another one, and this time, before you look at it, you say it is this card instead of what the card actually is. So for this one, you said it was the bottom card, which is the ace of hearts, when in reality it was the 4 of spades. And for this one, you would say it's the 4 of spades, when in reality it's the jack of clubs. Alright, and then now you have to keep the jack of clubs in mind for the next part of the trick. And for the last part, to make sure that they don't mess up the trick, you gotta make sure that you pick the bottom one, or whatever card that you looked at before the trick began. You could make it the top card, you could make it third card down from the bottom. Just make sure you memorize exactly where it is so that you won't mess up the trick. Alright, so let's go ahead and put that down. And then you would say that it is the second card that the spectator picked, which is the Jack of Clubs. So you would say that this is the Jack of Clubs, when in reality it is the Ace of Hearts. Now I know that might be a little bit confusing, but in reality it's really quite simple. And then you'd pick up all 3 cards and say that your first guess was the Ace of Hearts, and set that down. And you got to make sure that you set down the Ace of Hearts instead of the 4 of Clubs, or the 4 of Spades, or the Jack of Clubs, and make sure that you like mix them around a bit so that they aren't counting the cards to make sure that you really did put down the Ace of Hearts or something like that. It does sound a bit complicated, but it's, again, really quite simple. And then you just reveal all 3 of them, and then they are just going to be completely confused. The best part of being a magician, I think, is getting to watch their expressions after the trick is over. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that card trick tutorial, and I am going to see you next Saturday for more. Bye!